These are the juices that I think that you absolutely need for your home bar. Lime and lemon. That's all you really need. You can actually turn this video off now. Don't watch the rest of it. This was like award-winning in my head before I started filming. I don't know what's happened here. I feel, why do I have such a negative attitude? New video, starting now. Hi, I'm Kirby and Andy. Today we're gonna talk about juice. This is another video in my home bar essentials series, though I think this could apply to your work bar as well, whether you work in a bar or not. So I wanna talk about juice. I did another one of these episodes, one about bar tools, one about essential spirits, and one about syrups that you can make at home. Today I want to talk about juicing. Some people, want to do everything fresh. I can put these down probably. Some people want to do all of their juices fresh. Some people don't care at all and buy everything bottled. Me, I usually fall somewhere in between that. Now, it's your house, it's your drinks, have what you like. At the end of the day, nothing really matters, to be honest, like nothing at all. But this is the way that I go about my home bar. And if I were having guests over, this is what I always do. Lemon and lime, in my opinion, are the only things that you really need to have be readily fresh and available. And the nice thing about lemon and lime, they're pretty easy to find, these two citrus fruits all year round with a pretty consistent taste, and it's easy to get the juice out of these fruits. While we're talking about that, I do have a couple of different things that I use. These citrus presses, you can actually get a plastic version of this at the Dollar Tree. I have this thing too, which is actually, dirty, first of all. But that's actually pretty nice for juice as well. If you don't have either of those things, you can juice citrus with just a fork, actually. Just cut it in half. And this is not a perfect lime, but it's pretty juicy, pretty decent. If you put the fork in here and twist it, breaking up the membranes inside of the fruit, you can get everything out of here with your hands just as well as you would with any kind of juicer. So there's a fun little tip for you. You don't need to buy anything to make good cocktails. You don't need something fancy. It's pretty easy stuff. Beyond that, obviously, grapefruit is pretty common in cocktails. I think it's probably less common for you to necessarily keep grapefruit around the house. I use lemons and limes in cooking. Grapefruit I like to eat, not everybody does. So it's not a big deal if you want to buy canned grapefruit juice. You can buy it in these same little cans that you get cranberry and pineapple. Or something else that I've actually done in high volume bars is juice grapefruit fresh and then turn it into a syrup so you can preserve it that way. That's a really nice little trick. Unlike lemons and limes too, depending on where you live, the type of grapefruit that's available to you is going to vary throughout the year. Remember though, citrus is always going to be best in the wintertime. The months that end in your December, your November, your January, those are the months that are best for citrus fruits. So if you're considering buying fresh, the winter months might be better, and then in the summer, go out and get your canned, your bottled. Even if you want to use bottled lemon and lime, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. It really isn't, especially if you're just learning about cocktails and you don't keep citrus around your house to begin with. Don't stress out about needing fresh lemon and lime. They're not so bad, and you can get some pretty good products. The only thing you really want to avoid, don't buy bottled sour mix, please. In terms of things outside of lemon and lime juice and cocktails, there's definitely cocktails that call for other juices. A lot of tiki drinks, for example, are going to use pineapple. But when we get into that territory of things like pineapple, cranberry, and orange juice, those juices are no longer playing that role of balancing out the cocktail. They're really, fighting and they're stealing the show. Think about it do you know what I think about a lot actually in terms of cocktails? if you've ever been to like one of those frozen yogurt places or like an ice cream place where you can pick out whatever toppings you want, I mean, all of those things are just so artificial and laced with sugar, and they're delicious. Like, no matter what you put on that, it's gonna taste okay. So if you do like a blend of orange and pineapple juice with some artificial like flavored vodka, like, sign me up. Like, that's gonna taste great. But you're not creating a cohesive, balanced cocktail, you know? Does that make sense? Is this helpful information? I think it is. I would love to hear this. So, you know, just that sort of echo chamber of affirming my own beliefs. I would love to watch a video that tells me everything I think is right. That being said, when you're using things like orange and pineapple, like, that's not really going with those same sort of ideals and tenements of classic cocktail bartending. So that's not what I'm really here to teach you about, I guess. I hope you're having fun. So let's talk about pineapple. Juicing a pineapple can be a rewarding experience, and it's not that difficult. You can use a blender to juice a pineapple, food processor. Just chop it up, take away the prickly parts, blend it, and fine strain it. You've got yourself some pineapple juice. But then it's messy. It's messy, and the biggest thing is that pineapple is, unless you live in Hawaii, it probably is not local to you, and it's only in season a few months out of the year. I believe like March through June is pineapple season. So the consistency of the product, a pineapple this size could yield very little juice. It could also be very juicy, but it's really difficult to gauge and rely on juicing fresh pineapple. I think if you want to get really into cocktails, it's definitely worthwhile, but these little cans of Dole pineapple juice are always going to taste the same. There's nothing in here but pineapple juice. I mean, there might be some preservatives. Okay, well, there's a couple, but this is going to give you a consistent result. I do strongly recommend that. Much like with grapefruit, I do also really like turning pineapple juice into a syrup, but even in a working environment, we discovered that my staff and I discovered previously that we preferred making pineapple syrup with canned juice just for that consistent flavor profile, because you don't know how sweet or acidic each individual pineapple is going to be. Cranberry juice. So this obviously is a key ingredient to a cocktail like a Cosmopolitan. This is not juice. This is mostly corn syrup. This is sugar. This is sugar in a can, and that's fine. I mean, this is my choice of cranberry juice. But when you're using something like this, again, you're no longer balancing ingredients. You're not creating a cocktail. You're creating a mixed drink that is primarily cranberry juice. And the same is true of ginger beer. Moscow mules are delicious. They're wonderful, don't get me wrong. But a Moscow mule is not a balanced cocktail. It's spiked ginger beer. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it a bad thing, but that's not my goal here with this YouTube channel. So these things, doesn't really matter. Gosling's is not my preferred ginger beer brand. I like something very spicy. This just happens to be what I have on hand, and I'm using it as a prop. I would say, in terms of other things you can have around your house for your home bar, I do always recommend having a club soda, and I think now almost everyone probably has some form of sparkling water in their house. Sparkling water mixes great with everything. Have some citrus fruit, whatever base spirit, throw some sparkling water on top, it's gonna be delicious. Even flavored stuff like ginger sparkling water with a little Amaro or gin, my gosh, what a little treat you'll have. You can certainly also keep tonic around the house as well. A lot of tonic brands, I think tonic is not quite as popular as it used to be because people's palates have changed so much. We don't like sweeter things as a species as we used to in like the 70s and 80s. So people really do shy away from tonic water. This is Fever Tree. It's fairly popular. though it's still fairly sweet. So, you know, maybe not everybody loves it, or maybe you do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm out of touch. I don't think that's the case. So yeah, that's juice. So yeah, I would say for your home bar essentials, always the preference would be fresh lemon and lime, canned pineapple, if necessary. The only thing, this is all you need. That's all you need for cocktails, lemon and lime. You could buy this. Buy a 4-pack of these little cans of cranberry juice. You'll have a friend over one day who wants a vodka cranberry, or you can make my lime cordial recipe and make them the best Cosmo they'll ever have in their life. Orange juice. Also, I will note, if you are gonna juice oranges, you want Valencia orange juice. Is the kind that's gonna taste good. Navel oranges have nicer skins for peels, but Valencia is what is better for the drinking. But I've never met a cocktail with orange juice that I enjoyed. I think it overpowers everything else and really just throws off that balance. Grapefruit, if it's grapefruit season, go ahead, juice it fresh. Otherwise, head out and get it in these cans. I feel like this video has gone on for 45 minutes, and I hope it's been a nice time for you. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I'm gonna get a sip of water. All this juice talk is drying out my body. So, subscribe. I'm sorry I shaved my beard. If it's upsetting you, don't worry, it's upsetting me too.